But one of the things that you can do is through big stuff like urban design. You can take the planning of cities and make cities a healthier place, and there is a World Healthy Cities movement at the moment. But we've still got planning being beaten around the head by big business. So, for example, you go into any of our high streets or just off high streets in any British town and city, and you'll see a row of unhealthy food shops. You'll see three versions of chicken cottage, and three versions of some kind of kebab cottage, but we can, and some countries and some cities would legislate against that and say you can only have one fast food joint on X number of metres of street. We do it with all sorts of unhealthy living in the UK. I've got some amazing photographs of a street in a great location in a town that has 4 bookies in a row and then a pawnbroker next to it, and so all the time you're seeing unhealthy cities. So if we start with big planning, it can help that way. We've got to have governments that believe in the power of good rather than believe just in the power of big business. For too long we've had governments that believe that the free market forces in the private sector are good for us all. But there is so much out there to show that if you leave everything to the private sector can be great, but it can also take all its profit and put them offshore and concentrate not on the public good. Well, I think we know that that healthy lives are better for us because most people want to live longer. Most people want to live without having to be in and out of doctor's care and be in and out of hospital. And what you put inside your body plays a big role in that. What you do in terms of getting round a city plays a big role in that. Pollution, all of those things, and it's time for cities to and the people who run cities to start to think more about that and less about tax revenue that often they don't even get. There is, without doubt, a move towards more ethical thinking in many businesses, and corporate social responsibility plays a role in most corporations. But like everything, there are shareholders involved in a lot of these businesses, and a lot of people who are shareholders think about themselves. It is almost a natural human trait to think about yourselves. But at the moment, we've got we've got Britain with, for the first time, a young generation being worse off than its parents, and that has come, partly from greed, mainly from greed from older generations. And so it is time to start talking about those things, and they can be talked about in everything, and they can certainly be talked about in food production, food selling, our towns and our cities. I think there's a lot to be learnt from places that have been in a bad state and are starting to do very, very well. An example not too far from London is Margate, which Mary Porter's said it was a basket case. It was in a Porter's pilot, and she said it was almost an impossible task to do anything with it. But young people have opened independent cafes, lots of vegan restaurants and cafes going on, and it feels like a really human place. And last year it had the highest house price rises, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it was from a very low level. People are flocking there like crazy. You look at a place like Berlin, which is attracting more people out of London than Manchester or Birmingham are attracting out of London, and people are going there for a lifestyle that is wrapped up with affordability, with independent culture, with loads of independent start-up cafes and restaurants. It's part of, forward-thinking young people want an independent approach to life and are doing things differently. So if we follow that, then we won't go far wrong.